These are slides took in the early 70s, 1970 to about 1974, I guess. And I believe they're going to work okay. These are pictures that we took in the desert Southwest in old Tucson. That's Charlotte. We took a trip out there in 1970, and these are the pictures that we made. This is the old Tucson, and they made a lot of movies there. Went out there in the heat of the summer, and it was in August, and it was pretty warm, but it's kind of a dry heat, and if you find a shade, well, you can get out of it, and that's somewhere in New Mexico. This is where a lot of movies were made there, and also the TV show High Chaparral was filmed there. This is part of the buildings they use for the ranch and so forth. This is White Sands, New Mexico. As you can see from the white sand, that's another picture of the white sands. Another picture of old Tucson. It's kind of dry and desert-like out there, in case you hadn't noticed. There's Miss Charlotte sitting on the porch of the boarding house. They had a gunfight there while we were there, a staged thing, and I didn't get to make any pictures of it. She kind of passed out on me from the heat during that period of time, and I had to get her back in the shade and get her something to drink and revive, so I didn't get to make the pictures of the gunfight. Now there's Miss Charlotte out in the White Sands in New Mexico. This is, could be most anywhere. This is in the mountains going into New Mexico, or in New Mexico rather. I believe this is the forest we went through going from Phoenix up to Flagstaff. Beautiful area. It's clean and nice, and it's back in the desert again. The slides are all mixed up in here in case you can't tell, but but anyway, this was our desert Southwest trip. There was a lot of tunnels going through the mountains out there. There's a good picture of Miss Charlotte in a 1970 Chevrolet pickup truck that was brand new that we bought right before we went out there. Some more desert Southwest in New Mexico. It's a barren looking place, but it's pretty in its own right, I guess. This looks like the Bryce Canyon in Utah we went to. There's another tunnel coming around through the mountains in New Mexico. Another slide of old Tucson. Big old cactus out there. There's Miss Charlotte standing at the hitching rail waiting on her pony. Looked like some more white sands there that we couldn't get focused. Now here's Miss Charlotte at by Cannon and the Mississippi, at the Mississippi River where we crossed in Louisiana at the beginning of the trip. This is part of the Texas landscape, south, well, really the western part of Texas. The Panhandle where it's dry and really looking bad. I don't know what that is. That's another picture of the bridge over the Mississippi River. Natchez, I believe. And another picture of Miss Charlotte out in the White Sands, New Mexico. Another picture of the Mississippi River Bridge. Good picture of Miss Charlotte and the bridge. Finally got everything focused, camera included. Some more of West Texas. Still some more West Texas. West Texas is a big place. Took us about 3 days to get across, it seems like. More West Texas landscape. More of the same. There's Miss Charlotte kind of giving it all a good eyeball out through there. Oh, it's a big wide open country. I believe we're back in New Mexico mountains again. That's what it looks like. There's Miss Charlotte. She's gonna make a picture too. "30-year-old baby doll." Some more West Texas. Still West Texas. Oh, there's a long ways across Texas. Texas is a big place. Good picture of Charlotte upside down. More West Texas. Now this is 9 o'clock, right at the edge of the Central Standard Time Zone in Texas. I remember it, and because it was still good daylight there at that time to make that picture. This is a church in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Might have been better off stopping the camera while I was making these adjustments, but anyway. That's as good as it's gonna get, looks like. There we go. Quit fooling with it, Luke. Let's go on. Break time. These are slides that we made on our trip out west in 1970. We went to the desert southwest, and these are pictures of going across Texas, and we went right straight across and through the longest part of Texas, and took forever to get across. Slides are going to be all jumbled up, and they'll be jumping around from one place to another. This is old Tucson. They made a lot of movies here, a lot of westerns, and also the High Chaparral was filmed there in a movie series back in the 80s, and it was a nice experience. There's Miss Charlotte standing in front of the cantina. One of the John Wayne movies was made there. But it's just an old western town, and it's strictly a tourist attraction and also a place to make movies. Dirt streets and everything. All you need is a horse and you're ready to go. It's a watering hole out in New Mexico somewhere. Another picture of old Tucson. There's Charlotte. She's found her a shade, and that's about the only kind of shade that was out there. They didn't have any trees. That's White Sands, New Mexico. Some more White Sands, New Mexico. Another picture of old Tucson and the corral and the water tank, the windmill. We were out there in August of 1970, and it's pretty warm. There's Miss Charlotte sitting on the boarding house porch. Waiting on somebody to come by and pick her up. Tucson freight office. This was out in New Mexico somewhere. Some more White Sands. I believe this was probably on our way up from Phoenix to Flagstaff. These are the mountains in New Mexico, and Superstition Mountains, I believe. This is forest on the way up to uh, Flagstaff from Phoenix. It's beautiful up through there. You're going up into the mountains and going from dry desert up into the lush mountains and big trees. Now this is still in New Mexico here. Same here. A lot of tunnels we went through in those mountains getting down to Santa Fe. Miss Charlotte standing behind our brand new Chevrolet pickup truck that we bought right before we went out there. Beautiful scenery, but I don't think I'd want to live out there. A little too dry and arid for me. I believe this is part of the Bryce Canyon that we went to in Utah. Looks like the entrance to it where we first drove in. That was a beautiful place. Some more of the mountains in New Mexico. Another shot of the old Tucson. Nice big cactus there in the front yard. Miss Charlotte standing beside a hitching rail there waiting on somebody to bring her a pony to ride. 30-year-old baby doll. Some more white sands that didn't focus. There's Miss Charlotte standing beside a cannon at the Mississippi River where we crossed at Natchez, going into Louisiana out of Mississippi. Some more white sands upside down. This is West Texas, and it was took us a long time to get across West Texas. Another picture of the bridge over the Mississippi there where we crossed. Old bridge, and it's probably not there, not in use anymore. I don't know. This was 1970. That's been a long time ago. There's a good picture of Miss Charlotte out on the white sands. There's a better picture of the bridge. There's a little park there you visit after you cross the river, and that's a good picture of her in her polka dotted dress and the bridge in the background. Some more West Texas. I had a little problem on the focus job, as you can see. Some more West Texas. There's some cows in the background there and some cowboys, but you can't see them. Long ways. A wide open place. Charlotte's checking it out. Still checking it out. Now she's going to make a picture of it. It is a barren looking place out there. Some more pictures of West Texas. You just drive forever. It's a good picture of Miss Charlotte upside down. Never could get it to focus.